Good afternoon. It is my great pleasure to welcome United States Secretary of State, the Honorable Marco Rubio, to Jamaica. Now, I have known Secretary of State Rubio for some time, and I've always been very impressed by his deep knowledge of the region. Jamaica is deeply honored that
So maybe because of his parents, because he's from Cuban immigrant parents. Did you know that, Free Spirit?
Yes, I did.
So maybe that's why he knows the Caribbean region so well.
Right.
Anyway,
you have chosen to visit us first on your official visit to the English-speaking Caribbean. This visit so early in your term confirms the strength of historic friendship and strategic partnership between Jamaica and the United States, one built on shared values, democratic ideals, and people-to-people ties. Our nations have long been united by a common commitment to freedom, prosperity, and security. And your visit today reaffirms this bond. Today, we engaged in productive and constructive discussions focused on strengthening this partnership and expanding opportunities for collaboration. During our meeting, we addressed several critical areas of cooperation. Security, one major area. We reaffirmed our commitment to enhancing cooperation in combating transnational crime, ensuring the collective safety of our citizens, and mutually secured borders. We discussed a global war on gangs, and there is already significant policy alignment with both countries in this regard. The United States has been
this man, Prime Minister Holness, is talking about global war and gangs, but yet still he seems like he's not worried about gangs in Jamaica because he's sending police personnel to Haiti to fight their gang issues. How about fighting it in Jamaica? Free Spirit?
Well, I understand your concern, opinion guru, but we also have to be our brother's keeper. And you know, Jamaica, they try several different things, but we all know how corrupt these some of these Caribbean islands are. So, I mean, they're trying. He's
Yeah,
trying,
but
but
he should try in Jamaica. Try
yeah,
in Jamaica to make it safe for people. People are scared to visit. I'm not talking about Caucasian tourists because the gangs tend to stay away from them because we were indoctrinated in school to stay away from the tourists because that's how the island gets their money. But a normal tourist like me, a returning resident, I will have gang issues. You know, gang will try to rob me or something. You know, and other expat that goes there for vacation. It's the same thing. So I think this man, Prime Minister Holness, should try and fix the problem of Jamaica. How about putting Jamaica first? How about that?
so Mr. Guru, as you know, I visit Jamaica quite often, right? And
Right.
you know they have several check spots, and they was doing it last year, the year before, for at least 3 years, right? But Mr. Onus alone cannot do it by himself. As soon as he set up a check spot, then you'll hear different parties will come in and they said, "Oh, it's not necessary. It's taxpayers' money. It's this, is that." So you know, it's the whole government. I know he's the prime minister of Jamaica, but you know, everybody have to come on board.
I agree with that, but he should focus on Jamaica. That's what I think.
It did. But anyway, we are talking about the present in hand right now about Mr. Rubio coming to Jamaica with the Cuban doctors and everything. And I personally have an experience with the Cuban doctors. When my mom was sick and next to death door, those Cuban doctor was amazing in Jamaica. So I know firsthand. But when Mr. Rubio said that they don't get the pay directly in their hands, their passport is taken away and all of that, I was not aware of that. But I know the Cuban people did not come and defend themselves. So are you aware of that, Mr. Guru? Can you comment on that?
Yes, I spoke to my Cuban friends about the issue, and they said yes, some of their pay goes to the government, but he said a satisfactory amount still go to the doctors
Mm-hmm,
that they are happy with, and he also told me that the doctors are happy to leave Cuba to go to other countries to help and to see other places.
mm-hmm,
So the doctors are also maybe not 100% happy with the arrangement, but they are somewhat happy
mm-hmm.
based on what my Cuban friends are telling me.
Okay.
So I
Yes,
don't know. Huh?
they seem very happy to me when I'm in Jamaica, and as I said to you, the experience with my mom. So you know, but before, that wasn't the story. It's just crazy what's going on. But go ahead.
Okay. Continue playing.
Yes.
Okay.
Instrumental in supporting Jamaica's efforts to bolster its marine domain awareness and intelligence surveillance capabilities, which are crucial in our fight against organized criminal networks.
So you see, this is also my issue with this thing
Mm-hmm.
because he's talking about surveillance capabilities. They are just turning the surveillance on the population of Jamaica.
Mm-hmm.
These people in Jamaica think that they are free, but they are not. They are heavily censored, and they think that because they can come online and tell each other about their mothers and this and that, they are free because they can do that. But people of Jamaica, if you travel to these big countries, if you do a search about how globalization especially has been negatively impacting Jamaica, you do a search on that when you are in the United States, Canada, England, and so on. Note the result of the search, go back to Jamaica, do that same search, and the result, I bet you, I guarantee you, will be absolutely different. Don't forget, this is the same prime minister that went to Israel, to the NSO group, to try and get their spy software to use on Jamaicans, and they are gonna use it on human rights activists. They are gonna use it on the opposition leader. The opposition leader should also be worried because these guys, Prime Minister Holness, these guys will try to stay in office forever because they like the power. And this is all this type of this even is bringing up memories of Edward Snowden, right? That gave us the NSA leak when they were talking about the United States prison program that just scoop up all the metadata of the country. It doesn't matter if you are a criminal or not. And this is why whenever there is crime in Jamaica, everybody have an excuse as to why they cannot find the criminal. And if you say something negative about the prime minister, By the end of the night, you are on television apologizing for what you said because they have these softwares. And instead of trying to help the population of Jamaica, they turn it on the population so they can find people that will, for speech. These guys will find you for just exercising your rights to free speech. You know what I mean? There is no real guardian in Jamaica right now to guard the Constitution. There is none. The last one that did it, and it took vast amount of money to do it, was Isaac Buchanan. He's the last person to bring the Jamaican Constitution to bear against the government of Jamaica and what they are doing to the population. So this is my issue with what he just said. I'm sorry, free spirit.
So, okay, you said you went for the software, right? So,
Right.
don't you think that could help with the crime in Jamaica? I understand and I hear your frustration, but don't you think that it would help also with the crime in Jamaica?
It will help with the crime, but I'm saying they did not set up any oversight body to see what these guys are doing, right? The government of Jamaica, right, is supposed to be the ones that are the public figure that we Jamaican people that is supposed to know their finances, who they are meeting with, where they are going, who is paying for what, and we don't know it. Everything is secret, is national security. But yet still they know everything about the population. If the citizens knew about what they were doing, they will never allow them to govern themselves. They will never be allowed to govern the population of Jamaica. And that is why these type of software, the Pegasus and all those software, it worries me because I know they are gonna turn it on the population and they will always try to fight dissent because they want everybody to support them and agree with them and they want to rule forever. Look at the politics in Jamaica now. It's almost like a family business. Dr. Andrew Holness, the prime minister, his wife is also in politics, and many other MPs are bringing in their sons and daughters, and it's a disaster. You know, these people think that they are king of the island. Anyway, free spirit.
Oh God. So you wanna play this thing again so we can get back on topic?
All right.
We discussed expanded and repurposing development assistance towards our shared goals, including security. This will exponentially expand our cooperation in fighting lottery scammers, transnational organized crimes, trafficking in guns, and building safer
Ah,
communities.
what-
We are committed in ensuring our partnership delivers results.
Free spirit.
So I was saying that you wanted to pause, right? Because you see who they focusing the camera on just now?
Oh,
Huh? Okay, the gentleman will run Mobile, right? He's the head
yeah.
one up here. And you see, and look how the crime bad in Montego Bay. And there's nothing he's doing. Him need to go a long time. But anyway,
Yes.
so you know, the crime is just something else. But I hope Marco Rubio and go Jamaica and they touch on the crime. I would really love that something is done about the crime in Jamaica. So let's see. You think
Well,
it
he's promising. Huh?
you think it's gonna help?
It could, if they use it the right way, it could help.
How
But
you know we are overseas? How you think best that they can? What you how you think that they best can fix this crime business in Jamaica?
Well, I always know this growing up. Wherever there is poverty, there is crime.
Hmm.
And it is in my opinion that the government of Jamaica is stealing taxpayers' money. All of them go in poor and now they are multi-millionaires.
Hmm.
The last revelation in last year was saying that the prime minister has 28 bank accounts. And yet still he's gonna tell you that he grew up as the poorest kid in the world. And
Hmm.
he always says it. And all of a sudden, this man is in government. He's not in the private sector getting bonus and all those stuff. He's in government. And yet still now he's a multi-millionaire. So they are not using the money of the country the right way to help the youths,
Right.
create programs for them, giving them a skill, helping them to build businesses, getting ready, getting rid of the guns. They should have more community policing. They don't even have community policing.
Right.
And this is the problem. They are keeping the money for the country for themselves. Look at even the roads.
Hmm.
If you would try to drive on the inner Jamaican roads, like in the different parishes, they are horrible. You cannot have commerce in a country without roads. Jamaica don't even have a railway system anymore. And this is the problem of the country. Where there is poverty, there is crime, there is no opportunity. They are worried about visas for themselves to go look at their multiple properties in Florida and the rest of America.
Hmm.
These guys, they don't care. That's my thoughts on it. They need to spend the money on Jamaicans, and there need to be more accountability of government. And that is why they want it goes right back to these softwares. Even this American ambassador, when he was leaving Jamaica, he was saying in 2020 they were spying using Digicel's systems to spy on his conversations.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And then the Prime Minister Holness is saying, oh, we are not getting involved, we are not getting involved. You know what I mean? Who to tell? Maybe they are the same one that was that were facilitating the whole thing. And this is the thing. These guys, they don't love Jamaica. They don't love Jamaica. You know what I mean? And Mark Golding should be very worried. And people should always remember Prime Minister Holness. They are the Republicans. They are for rich people. They are right wing. The PNP, the People's National Party, are the left wing of Jamaica, and they are for the poor. They are for poor people. People, Jamaicans, Guru family, always remember that. PNP are for poor Jamaican people. Prime Minister Holness, the Jamaica Labour Party are for rich people. They are the right wing party. They are like the American Republicans. Always remember that. Free spirit.
And once again, guys, remember the opinion of that the opinion of Free Spirit Antoinette. And I just want to speak about education a little bit in Jamaica, right? So for all those who are watching at the moment, I don't know if you're aware of the art program in Jamaica. They have several different things. They have welding, computer, plumbing, electrician, beautician, whatever you want to do, you can look up the art program, right? You go, the government pay for you to go to school. You get a free lunch every day. You only have to find your bus fare. I am from St. Mary, and I know right, and there's one in Port Maria, right? So if you're living like 20 minutes away, so you have to pay bus fare probably $300, right? But you're pouring into your education. So as for what Guru was saying about the education, he wasn't correct in some of it, right? Because a lot of the Jamaican younger people, I should say, they are more Americanized. They prefer to go to Western Union to sit. Not everybody knows, so please don't get me wrong. They prefer to go to Western Union, or they want to be a musician, and everybody wants to be a musician, or they want to be blogger, or they want to be TikToker. But they're not spreading the gospel of the education of the art program, that you can get into this art program. And it's not that art program alone only work in Jamaica. If you go and get the art program for 1 year, you get your certification, you could go anywhere in the world and use that plumbing certification to become a plumber. If you become a electrician, you could go anywhere in the world to use it, right? But yet still, a lot of the younger Jamaicans, they sit and they prefer to knee their and middle with ganja, or they rather to have a cup in their hands. They don't go about and educate themselves, right? There's a lot of mental issue. I'm going off a topic right now. There's a lot of mental issue in Jamaica, and they said, "Oh, there's no help in Jamaica for mental health." But there is help, but nobody want to take the time to do the research. They just want everything on a platter handed to them. And life is not about that. I came here at the age of 16 years old, right? And I have to go and do my research and do whatever I wanted to do to become who I wanted to become, to go back to school, to get an education, whatever it is. But a lot of these younger people in a lot of these Caribbean islands, they don't want to go out and do research. They'll ask for a phone, you give them a phone, yes, they'll just idle and scroll and do whatever they want to do. So, opinion guru, have you ever heard of the art program that's in Jamaica, that whenever you go to school, you can go anywhere in the world and get a job with that certification? Are you aware of that program, sir?
Well, I am aware of it, and it's a very good program. But the thing about going everywhere in the world, that's not true, because everywhere have different way how they do things. For instance, here in Canada, if they come here, they still have to go back to school. They can't come here and be a plumber. No, because they are gonna tell you you're not up to Canadian standard.
Well,
Plus, Canada is a country that has 3 seasons. So everything has to be different, so that when the different season come in, whatever work is done can withstand and hold up. So it's a totally different system.
correct. But then you can, just like with nursing, right? Say if you have your nursing degree here in Florida and you're going to New York, of course you have to do a little course, but you don't have to go over and do the whole 3 years to be a RN, or the whole 1 year to be a LPN. You just do a little crash course and that's it. You understand?
Well, every country is different. Every country have their own rules and regs, because a lot of these third world countries, including Jamaica, people buy their certification. So
Not,
they, and that is why when they come to these big countries, they have to get recertified, because they don't know.
I
It's so
know.
corrupt.
I know, but I know often that somebody who go to be a mechanic, and they did it in Jamaica, and they're here right now in Florida. Yes, as you say, everything is different. You know, you may have to take a little course or whatever it is. But I know for a fact with the mechanic you don't. But maybe with the plumbing, you have different coding or whatever it is. Maybe, I'm not sure. But I'm just saying that there is things. But are they taking advantage of it? No, they sit and they blame the prime minister, blame for poverty, blame for this. Everybody is just foreign minded. They just want to leave Jamaica to come to America. So now when they hear that all of this is going on with Donald Trump, everybody is worried. They are super, super worried.
Oh boy.
With the nurses then, right? Like we jump in topic here. When Rubio talk about the nurses and whatever, Andrew, the only thing Andrew should have said, and I think he was gonna say it, but he was a bit scared. He should have said, "Well, America is taking away all of our nurses and our teachers because
Yeah,
they'll
but why? Why? You know why?
pay. They pay."
Exactly. So there you go. And it goes back to what I was saying. The government, and I'm not putting my mouth on the ground and talk, the government of Jamaica, they are taking the money and they are not paying the workers. And that is it. The government of Jamaica is taking the money and they are not spending it on the workers. And that is it.
Yes, because I mean,
That is it.
look at minimum wages. I mean, I okay, like for example, people who work at Rio, Jamaica, right? They're doing the
Yeah.
same exact work as the people in Aruba, right? And Aruba or Bahamas or whatever, and that's not fair because what the Jamaicans have to work for one whole week, Aruba is getting it in one day, and that's not fair. Or the Bahamas, or Mexico, or Dominican Republic, or whatever, they're all getting more paid than Jamaica's tourist worker.
That's what I'm talking about. And
And
this is
Bartley,
why they are leaving Jamaica.
yeah, and Ed Bartley sitting there, and when I was in Secret Hotel, and he's there, and he's just like he wouldn't even give a tip. The waiters there are saying is like he's so disgusting. I mean, these people is just as you say, they just look on these workers like poor people and like they're not in their kind of a category. And you're right with some of the things they say. Some of I agree with some of your opinions, and I don't agree with some of it.
That's okay. That's how life is.
Right.
Should I continue playing this video?
Sorry, man.
Okay.
In driving down criminality and trafficking in this hemisphere. On Haiti, we look forward to continued partnership with the United States as we seek to work with the Haitian.
See? Oh boy, I have to stop it again. This guy, Andrew, he doesn't realize what's going on. These Caucasian people in these countries, they spend so many hundreds of years colonizing these mostly black countries.
Mm.
They cannot do it anymore because now you have too much internet, too much apps, too much. They don't want to do it anymore. So now they are getting you to do it.
Mm.
And you are doing it for them because you will never have a say in who governs Haiti. Canada, France, and the USA. I wouldn't even say England because England don't really do business with Haiti. But Canada, America, and France, they are the ones that are going to have a say in who governs Haiti. But they are getting Andrew Holness to do the dirty work. And Kenya, look how far Kenya is. They
Mm.
are getting Kenya to send policemen to Haiti to go fight their own people. Like, this is unbelievable. And this man doesn't have any shame. Prime Minister Holness doesn't have any shame. He's talking about it like he's doing something good. Go and fight the crime in Jamaica. Andrew Holness. Fight the crime in Jamaica.
He's
And
tr-
stop worrying about Haiti.
he's trying. Remember, he's the one who
Leadership and stakeholders to address the ongoing crises in Haiti. The extraordinary humanitarian, civil, and national security challenges in Haiti pose an acute threat to Haitians, to regional stability, and indeed to its close neighbors, including Jamaica. We agreed that we must do everything we can to stabilize the security situation in Haiti so that they are better able to build capacity and address their political and humanitarian challenges. On trade, recognizing the United States as Jamaica's largest trading partner, with bilateral trade surpassing $3 billion in 2023, we explored avenues to further expand trade relations.
Free Spirit,
Yes.
you're in the United States. What trade does Jamaica trade with the United? Because I don't know.
Only thing I can say is tourism. The tourists we go back and forth. I don't know anything else. I'm not sure. I'm not. I'm not. I didn't do any research on that. Anybody here watching who know?
Because as far as I know, American businesses just gonna use what they don't want to dump it on Jamaica.
So what are you thinking? You're very knowledgeable. You think anything other than tourism?
I don't think so, but I am not sure. But what I'm saying, what I know is this. Same way me in Canada, when I came to Canada, I used to hear that like chicken feet. The butcher shops and stuff like that. They didn't use to sell chicken feet. They used to just give it away until all of a sudden they realize that Jamaican people will buy it. So they start selling it. Fish head. They used to throw away fish head or give it away. Now you go to the fish shop, they are selling the fish head. You know what I'm saying? Because Jamaican people will use it for soup. So when he's saying that, that's all I'm thinking about. America is gonna use things that cannot pass regulation in the United States and stuff that they don't want to dump on Jamaica, and that is gonna mash up, further wreck the Jamaican agriculture industry and whatever little manufacturing going on the island still. So that is just all I can think about. Anything free spirit.
No, no, no.
Okay, free spirit. Let me tell you something too that you don't know. You see, the United States, they are very strict. You see, Canada, when we are coming to Canada from Jamaica, we can carry mango, banana, fish, pudding. You can carry almost anything with you when you are coming to Canada, because Canada they know it's a very multicultural place,
Mhm.
right? So they allow us to carry almost anything as long as it's not illegal, any type of food, anything. But when you are going to the United States from Jamaica, you have so much restriction.
Yeah, yeah.
So that is why I can't see Jamaica really exporting anything to the United States.
You can, because I know someone who is working on it right now. They're doing yam, they're doing pumpkin, they're
To
doing
export to the US?
yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay, then. Well, maybe that's what he's talking about.
They're doing
But I know it's not
farm.
gonna be a one-way street.
It's
There,
farm agriculture stuff. They're sending Scotch bonnet pepper, mango, and all that. But it's regulated. You know, they have to make sure there's no bugs on it, there's no disease, and you know the whole thing.
yeah.
Yeah, so there is right there in St. Mary. They're doing it right now as we speak.
I'm just worried that Jamaica is gonna be like a dumping ground for the
No,
United States. Whatever they don't want, whatever cannot pass regulation, and lots of chicken feet, lots of fish head.
that's so strict. Even though now we kind of bring it back. Remember, say even a motor vehicle, you can't send ever too much of a old motor vehicle to Jamaica. He just cut back on it. I think when he did the last budget reading, so much less food and stuff like that. No, but
No,
please now remember.
no, free spirit, free
Yeah,
spirit.
yeah.
Whatever America wants, America gets. If
No.
America, remember, these guys are scared to lose their visa.
So why when the Chinese then bring all the fake white rum and the cigarette and the chicken parts them and the rice and all them something that were not good. So Chinese doing it too.
Yeah.
So it's not, I don't think America would do that. But the Chinese is
Well,
doing.
they would. I'm telling you right now, they would.
Well, we have to see it. So let's see.
They would, because I remember how they destroyed our dairy industry when they just started this globalization thing. I saw milk running on the street like water when they brought milk powder to Jamaica. So they will. That's 100% guarantee. They will. If this government does not stand up to those type of stuff, they will dump their unwanted product in Jamaica. That is 100%. Look at Apple. Look how nice Jamaican apples are, and they are selling American apples in Jamaica. Think about that. They will dump it there.
But look, you can't blame the Prime Minister, the government of Jamaica. Blame the Jamaican people.
Yeah, but who have control of the ports? Is the same way a man would say, oh, what Jamaica doesn't make guns.
No, they
Who
don't.
control the ports? It's the government that control the ports that is allowing all type of illegal weapons on the island.
That's
They
what
control the ports.
Rubio say is gonna, you hear him say, I'm gonna crack down on that.
He said it, but I'm just letting you know that the government of the country, they control the border, just like Donald Trump is doing right now, President Trump, just like he's doing right now, and he's
so
saying,
how much Mr. Andrew Holness? You see you talk bad about Mr. Andrew Holness?
I am not talking bad, I am stating facts, but they don't like to hear these facts. I am absolutely stating facts, but these guys, they don't want to hear it. If it doesn't go along with their narrative, they don't want to hear it. And they have all kind of negative to say about you that is speaking the truth. If you cannot have a country, just like President Trump said, you cannot have a country if you don't have borders. Jamaica is an island. Jamaica has borders. The government, their responsibility is to control the borders. They are not doing it. Or they only do it because you try pack a suitcase, say you're going down to Jamaica. Oh, who you gonna sell this pants to? Yo, I'm bringing it for my nephew or my brother or my friend. Who you gonna sell this phone to? What? I'm not allowed to have two phones. Almost everybody have two, three phones. And this is what I'm talking about. So they pressure the little people, and then the big guys do whatever. Free spirit.
Hello, I'm sorry.
Between our two countries. The renewal of the Caribbean Basin Economic Recovery Act was raised as a matter of critical importance to trade for ourselves and for all CARICOM member states. We also explored means to attract increased U.S. investment into Jamaica's emerging sectors. With our stable macroeconomic framework and positive growth trajectory, Jamaica is open for enhanced U.S. investment across multiple sectors.
So there you go again. No beach. No more beach for Jamaicans. Free spirit.
I never hear him say that.
No, he doesn't. He's not gonna say it like that. That's what I'm trying to tell you. I am speaking the truth so that people that doesn't know these type of language will understand it. He's talking about investment in Jamaica. That means these guys are gonna come and build up all kind of beachfront hotel and all kind of thing, which is good, but he should also put regulation in the country that when Jamaicans still have access to the beaches in the country.
But they
The-
do. They have a lot of beach there in same way.
but they are not taken care of.
Yes, they are. They have a beautiful free beach right there in the in the heart of Montego Bay. It's beautiful. I was just there when
And
they
where is the next one?
and they have one little Duns River, like
What?
in Orcharias. They have across the street from Duns River. It's a beautiful fall. That's free. They have a lot of free beaches down there.
And where again? The Jamaica is a big island, like
In,
where again?
okay, so me tell. Then they have in Portland. It's free. Nice, clean bathroom. Winifred Beach. They have
Yeah,
like
yeah, but did you know that they had a protest
I
to
know.
keep Winifred Beach free?
Yes,
Did you
I know.
know that? The government tried to sell off Winifred Beach.
But look, you have to listen, When I know you said the government, right?
Ah, jeez.
Right? But you have to remember, they want to pay people to keep. It's not a lot of money they charge, just an upkeep to keep the bathroom, keep the toilet paper, keep whatever it is. That's how it is. They're not America. They're just trying.
What do you mean? All these guys go into office as poor
Oh,
men
I
and
know.
they all come out as
Oh,
multi millionaires.
I know. And
Right?
I'd say,
You know the salary. I
look,
know the salary they are making. There's no way.
look,
Absolutely no way.
forget about the beaches. Look at the hospitals. I mean, you could go down there. I have my husband friend was in a hospital sick, and he sit there in a hallway for 3 days for a bed. So let's talk about the hospitals. They don't even have toilet papers in the hospital,
But that's
and
what I'm saying.
tough than there, and it's those things. No, that's near and dear to my heart.
That's what I am
We
saying.
just donate a bed to Port Maria and a high top wheelchair to Port Maria Hospital. And if you say you donate, I have a friend. Him donate a whole bunch of sheet and towel and whatever it is, right? By the time him go back, everybody gone, the staff, them thief off the sheet and the towel them. Because they're not getting enough money. So everybody dibble dabble. So what can we do? Me and you and here, we just send up a blood pressure. We can't fix it. Them can't fix it. This has happened for years.
And I have to big up Bounty Killer. Bounty Killer, big up yourself, Ground God, because he always donate beds and stuff to the Kingston Public Hospital, to the
So
Jubilee Hospital,
what about
Victoria
Shaggy?
Jubilee Hospital.
So what
God
about
be praised.
Shaggy?
Big
What
up.
about Shaggy?
And Shaggy take care of the Children Hospital. Big up Shaggy.
And if more
Mr.
people would get
Bombastic.
involved and do things and but nobody really want to get involved and make these people be liable for what they're doing. Everybody just talk and a 9 days talk and it finish and it done and it gone.
That's what I'm saying. The
Yeah?
only person I have to say it again. The only person I know that have ever hold up the Constitution in front Jamaican people and say, people, you have this book, read it. Is Isaac Buchanan, what he did for Vibes Cartel. He used the Jamaica Constitution. You know what I'm saying? There is no one else fighting with the Constitution for the people of Jamaica. So Isaac Buchanan, big up yourself. I know a cartel spend the money. Cartel, big up yourself. You show us
I,
that
I mean, I
Constitution can work.
I mean, back again to the crime. The crime is so bad. Look at the local community where I'm from in Jamaica. Look at the sad thing that take place there, right? And up until today, nobody know anything. Nobody say anything. It's just a watch, and that was an educator. That was somebody who give back to the community, who've been teaching for over 42 years, and they should make sure that that person get caught and get time or whatever it is. And it's just gone. There's nothing.
Sad.
So like that really hurt my heart. But I
Very
can't,
sad.
no, but you know what's going on. As you said, to me, all these little small community, they should have a little police station, even a soldier in a them look a rural area. They
That
should
is
have a look
true.
a base.
That
With
is true.
even a look a soldier, look all them soldier them have. What them have them there Jamaica do? Nothing.
Nothing.
What them doing?
Is the army base still in Port Maria?
Yes, they still have it in Port Maria. But they should dispatch them in these, even if them not do it. Say okay, say every Wednesday them rotate, them two, them them do something. Nothing.
Drive through.
Yeah, nothing. Remember they used to have like a clinic here and this and that. It's like I don't know, man.
That's what I'm saying. These politicians, they are not spending the money right. And I absolutely believe they are taking it for themselves.
Yeah, you're talking about look, when you go down, right? You see you walk 5, 6 miles, no light. The place in a total darkness. If you come from America, you have to buy a solar light and say, yo, itch it on the light way up there so light up your community. There's no light.
I'm
So
telling you,
it's
these
a
guys,
lot.
they are taking the money for themselves.
We are forgotten. The people in the rural community, we are just forgotten. Nobody no want go back and move back there and do nothing because it's just not right.
The government is not helping.
Yeah.
They are
So
not helping.
finish up the video.
Okay.
Including energy and nearshoring. In terms of logistics, the discussion touched on working with U.S. companies to leverage Jamaica's location as a premier transshipment hub in the Americas, and this will further bolster Jamaica's work as a major logistics hub for global trade. On labor issues, the United States and Jamaica have enjoyed an 80-year-old history relationship in terms of bilateral labor agreements, where we provide short-term skilled and semi-skilled labor in sectors such as agriculture and hospitality. We discuss ways to expand and enhance these agreements, including skills development partnerships to upskill and reskill Jamaican workers. On our travel advisory, we discussed significant progress that we're making in bringing down all major crimes, and that Jamaica today is safer than at any time in the last 2 decades. In fact, crimes.
Mr. Prime Minister, I don't believe you. 100% I do not believe you. Free spirit.
Against visitors represent less than 0.01% of the more than 3 million.
Well, that I believe because Jamaicans don't usually attack, especially Caucasian tourists. They don't. But they will attack you if you look like them. And that's an issue.
And visitors to Jamaica annually. We are committed to working collaboratively to ensure that travel advisories reflect the current.
But look at Edmund Bartlett smiling like that is doing. Listen, people, let me give you a story. You take a cruise ship with a stop in Jamaica and you will see what happened. When you are on the ship going to anywhere else, the ship stop and you come off the ship. When you are on the ship and the ship, before the ship stop in Jamaica, they call a meeting on the ship. Meeting with everyone have to come to that meeting on the ship. People, I know this. I've been there. I know. And they tell you, hold your purse in front of you to the woman. Don't let anybody put any hat or any shirt or anything on your kid. Hold your kids close to you. Don't stop and talk to anyone. This guy, this minister of tourism, he should go on a cruise ship and he should listen to what the crew on the ship tells the people about how bad and crime infested Jamaica is. Then he will stop smiling because he's smiling like he's doing such a great job. You're not doing such a great job, Edmund Barton. Go on a cruise ship and watch what's gonna happen when you're about to disembark in Jamaica. They're gonna call a meeting and they're gonna tell you how scared you should be of the Jamaican locals. 100%.
Realities and promote travel to Jamaica. I'm confident that the dialogue initiated today will lead to tangible outcomes, benefiting both our peoples and contributing to mutual stability and prosperity. Indeed, our concern for enhanced regional and hemispheric security and prosperity was recognized as a shared one. I wish my CARICOM colleagues who are now in Kingston productive meetings as well with the Secretary this afternoon. Jamaica remains committed to fostering a partnership with the United States, one grounded in mutual respect, shared values, and a collective ambition for stronger and a more resilient future. I extend my sincere gratitude to Secretary Rubio and his delegation for their visit and for the productive and forward-looking discussions we have had. We look forward to building upon this foundation, deepening our collaboration, and taking our partnership to new and greater heights for the lasting benefit of both our nations. Ladies and gentlemen, I thank you very much for joining us, and I now give the floor to Secretary Rubio for his first statement.
Well, Mr. Prime Minister, first of all, thank you for the very warm welcome. On Tuesday was I completed my 9th week on the job, so I told you I'd be here early. I think that's pretty early, and I'm glad to be here so soon. Thank you to the Foreign Minister as well for welcoming me and all the work we do together, and to the people of Jamaica. The ties, I would say, between the United States and Jamaica don't need to be explained. They're incredibly strong. And in particular, my home state of Florida, we were commenting close, 800,000 to 1 million Jamaican expatriates who call the United States home. And I asked, was it just in Florida? Because it's a very vibrant community that's contributed so much to the place that I've called home for so long. And so we have a shared history that's tied together by people. I also would say that some substantial percentage of Americans have traveled here at some point in their lives. And that also binds countries together. Nothing binds countries and cultures more closely together than people. And we certainly have that in common. And we want to continue to make sure that we build on that. We did touch on a couple of topics. The first is trade. The world has been closely followed. The president is in the midst of realigning American global trade policy, primarily to reset global trade in a way that's fair to the U.S. after 20 or 30 years of what we believe is unfairness, not when it comes to Jamaica, but broader. And from that will come real opportunities to create new alignments and new trade arrangements and new trade opportunities. And I believe Jamaica is one of those places that together we both stand to benefit. In particular, we discussed supply chains. And we ask ourselves, why, if so many of these products are destined for the North American market, why are so many of the productive capacities located halfway around the world? And there's a lot of different reasons why that's happened. But it makes all the sense in the world to see more productive capacity, more manufacturing, more industry relocated into our hemisphere. We certainly have the labor and the population and the desire to do so in our hemisphere. It's closer to the end markets. And so we want to pursue opportunities to make that possible. And clearly, I think Jamaica is one of those places that could benefit. And the Prime Minister has that vision for the country and the creation of not just jobs, but jobs that pay even better than the jobs that maybe some could find now. So it's an opportunity I think would be mutually beneficial, and we're going to actively seek and look for ways to make that possible. I also think there's extraordinary opportunities for investment, and we talked about it, whether it's particularly in energy. The United States is going to be producing a lot of liquefied natural gas, which is a very clean fuel that we have in abundance and that we seek to export. And it's also critical, by the way. You cannot have manufacturing without reliable and affordable energy. And so it's one of those things that I think potentially we could continue to partner along with other things, whether it's mining opportunities off the seabed. In essence, to utilize all of the resources of the country in a responsible way that protects your environment, that protects your natural beauty, but at the same time is generating income and opportunity of employment for the people. Ultimately, that's governments have two prime responsibilities: the safety and the prosperity of their people. And your prime minister and his government is very focused on those two priorities.
So I want to know if Jamaicans are gonna just take his word for it, that he's gonna protect the beauty of Jamaica and the marine life when they start doing whatever drilling they are doing, or are they gonna say, oh, don't worry, just trust us, just trust us, we're gonna do what is best for you, Jamaica. Jamaicans, you guys better open up your eyes and start demanding that whatever deal is signed between the United States and Jamaica is thoroughly reviewed. People should demand to see these deals and not allow Prime Minister Holness and Secretary of State Rubio to tell you, just trust us. It doesn't work like that, because they will only do what is best for them. They don't care about the population of Jamaica or Jamaica as an island itself.
We did talk about tourism because obviously it's a significant part of your economy, and we pledged we were going to go back and reevaluate the travel advisories as they currently stand to ensure that they do reflect the reality of the new numbers and what the numbers show, because you've made very impressive progress in your general numbers overall when it comes to the murder rate and so forth. But in particular, with those travel advisories are designed to American travelers. And I think we need to analyze that and just ensure that the status we're currently in accurately reflects the status quo and takes into account the progress you've already made this year and made last year, year over year, which I think is one of the highest numbers in terms of reductions that we've seen of any country in the region. We have to talk about security, and I think that the Prime Minister has phrased it in a way that I think is very beneficial, and that is, he used the term global war on gangs. Maybe we'll find some other phraseology in the United States to describe it, but we're talking about the same problem. It's amazing if you look across the region and really many parts of the world, how many of the threats we face in the world now that once came from a ideological terrorist organization or from a nation state are now coming from non-governmental criminal organizations.
Look at this guy, Marco Rubio, talking about terrorist organization. Anytime they don't like you, they say you're a terrorist. These guys, the United States, anytime they don't like you, they say you're a terrorist. Look who they put right now in Syria to run Syria. The same guy they had millions of dollars on his head. He is the one right now. He's from Al-Qaeda. He's the one right now they put to run Syria. Because why? They said it. You're no longer a terrorist. Just work for us. But yet still, last year, this guy was Al-Qaeda, and they have how much millions of dollars, millions of US dollars on his head. But no, don't worry. Take off the turban, put on a suit. Now you are with us. You are no longer a terrorist. Why is no longer a terrorist? Because they say so. They say so. And this is what this is my issue. You know what I mean? These guys are absolute hypocrites. These guys. absolute 100% hypocrites.
Organizations who in some cases are more powerful than the governments in some of these countries. And we've confronted this issue. It's a challenge in Mexico. It's a challenge on the border between Venezuela and Colombia. It is the challenge in Haiti. And it's been a challenge here. And it's a multifaceted challenge. They are transnational for a number of reasons. One, as an example, is, and we've acknowledged this in our conversations that lead back to my time in the United States Senate, how many of the guns and the weapons that are being used by gangs to commit acts of violence here in Jamaica are purchased in the United States and then shipped here. And we want to commit to doing more to stopping that flow at the same time as we do more to commit to increasing your capacity. That's the other thing I underline. What we're talking about here when we talk about American assistance is America helping Jamaica build its own capacity, its own ability to confront these challenges and solve these problems. Because security is a baseline for everything. And to that end, we have some good things to announce today here. We've the Jolt Fusion Center that is starting up again, and that's been even further strengthened. That's going to help address lottery scamming. We can announce this synthetics detection equipment for the Jamaica's forensic labs. Another counter gang recruitment program that we seek to launch as a result of our visit here today, and announce something that I think is really important, and that is software, intelligence software for the law enforcement here in Jamaica.
So there you go, Jamaicans. There you go. You have been put on notice. You're gonna be surveilled, so you're not even gonna know yourself. That's what they are doing. They're gonna surveil you. Your privacy is gone. This is what he is saying. Remember, the Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness went to Israel to make a deal with the NSO group, and they are the ones that created the Pegasus software. When that thing it goes into your phone, you don't even know that it's in your phone. They scoop up everything and they store it. This is what they do. And they use it against human rights activists. They use it against the opposition leader. This is what they do because they want to stay in power forever. And this is the problem. This is the issue when I hear these things about surveillance and this and that. They are basically taking away your privacy in Jamaica. They are gonna censor you. So you Jamaicans think that going online and telling each other about your mothers and this and that and talk all kind of things, that's what they want. You don't have freedom. You think that is freedom? That's not freedom. Allowing dissent, that is freedom. Allowing you to have free thought, to have critical thinking, to say when your prime minister is doing wrong, to say when one of the government minister is doing wrong. That is freedom. And this is what they're going to take away from you. If you cannot understand when this man speaks, Marco Rubio, I am explaining it to you. And I told you, for those of you who travel, if you search certain things when you are in the United States, Canada, England, those countries, you get a different result than if you search for the same thing in Jamaica. Because you're heavily censored in Jamaica and you don't know it. You think that because you can go online and curse and carry on the derogatory way, you're free. That is not freedom. You're not uplifting yourself. You're being controlled and you're doing exactly what they want you to do. Remember that.
To combat gangs, things like night vision goggles as well, technology, and we look to do more. And on that end, let me touch on a topic that we talked about just a little bit. Well, I'll touch on one other topic, then I'll get to this final one. You mentioned upskilling and helping. How can we? It's a topic we hadn't touched on directly extensively before. We talked about it today. We seek to go back and find ways that we can partner to create opportunities for skills training, so that if those companies, and we can attract those companies, and we can attract, whether it's a logistics center or manufacturing, to come to Jamaica, there's a workforce that's been equipped with the skills needed. Now, we face this challenge domestically as well. We need to do that ourselves, but there may be things that we can do in collaboration with one another. And this touches on the issue of aid, very controversial in the United States, but it's one of the reasons why I wanted to come here today, because it in many ways highlights exactly what our vision.
And this is what you see, Jamaican people, if you cannot critically think, I am gonna critically think for you. This guy is now letting you know that he is willing to let American companies go to Jamaica and do manufacturing and all of that stuff. But yet still, when they were running in the election, they were saying, America first, America first. All the companies that are abroad should come back to America and do their manufacturing in America. And this is why Trump is doing all the tariff things and stuff like that, because they want stuff to be made in America. So he's telling Andrew Holness, I'm telling you, like, these guys, he said he's a doctor now. And these guys, I don't know what they're thinking about. You know what? I know. They are just selfish because they know nothing will impact them. But me, I care about the population of Jamaica. And I'm going to tell you, this guy is America first guy. Americans need jobs. American needs this. American needs that. But yet still he's going to tell our Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, that he will allow companies to go do manufacturing in Jamaica. The only reason I can think of is because they are willing to pay Jamaican people next to nothing. And also do jobs that no American will be willing to do. That's what I can think of. Free spirit. Free spirit is gone. But anyway.
For aid moving forward is the United States is not getting out of the aid business. We are going to be providing foreign aid. The difference is we want to provide foreign aid in a way that is strategically aligned with our foreign policy priorities and the priorities of our host countries and our nation states that we're partners with. In essence, how that would work, how it has worked in the past, is U.S.A. or some other entity would come into a country and say, this is what we think you need. And then they go out and hire an NGO that maybe are the ones that convinced them that that's what you need. And they give them a bunch of money and they come into the country and they do things. Some of these programs are fine. They're nice things. Other times, not so much. Nonetheless, that's how it used to be. How we want it to be in the future is that our embassies are involved with the host government, our hosts, our partners. And we ask them, what are your needs? And we provide assistance geared towards the needs of the nation states that are hosting us and that we're partnering with. At the end, our partner in Jamaica, our partner all over the world, is the government. It's the host governments who have a clear vision for the future. And to the extent that our foreign aid can be helpful, it is in furtherance of what the people of your country have elected you to carry out. Here, there are a lot of things. We've just described some of them. What should our foreign aid be geared towards? It should be geared towards looking for opportunities to increase skills training, looking for opportunities to attract investment and business and trade, and looking obviously for opportunities to expand on your own domestic intelligence capabilities. We are going to have foreign aid that is aligned to our foreign policy, and our foreign policy is going to be aligned to our mutual shared interests with the partners that we have all over the world. And I can tell you, Jamaica is an incredible partner to the United States. It's very cooperative on a number of fronts, and we will continue to work together, and we're going to work closer than we've ever worked before, because we are now going to have U.S.
Free spirit.
Yes.
You see what I told you? America tells Jamaica what to do and they do it.
Mhm.
You see what I'm saying? That's what he just said. Jamaica does whatever we say. This is crazy, man.
I know I go already.
Yeah, I know where it go.
Guru, we and 1 hour and 16 minutes now, so let's wrap it up.
Okay, do you want him to finish his speech or what?
What do you think? Yeah, make him finish. Just make him go and talk.
Okay.
Programs for foreign aid that are going to be aligned.
But Free Spirit,
Yes?
remember that a lot of the first few minutes weren't any good, eh? Okay, let's go.
With the vision that you've elected your leaders to carry out for your country, and that benefits us both. And so I thank you for the opportunity to visit with you here today and talk about these things. I'm excited that we're going to be able to follow up on a lot of them and show real progress. The message that I've wanted to send in my travels, I've had to travel a couple of other places, but I've been to the hemisphere now twice, is very simple, and that is that the United States wants to ensure that when countries are cooperative and work with us and partner with us and constantly seek ways to engage us, that leads to positive results and outcomes. It's not, you can call it rewarding, but what it really means.
Yes, Free Spirit, you hear what he just said? Do as you are told, and we will work with you. So, Free Spirit, you want to wrap it up here then?
So you think Andrew will do everything that he says because he want to keep him visa as a card to you?
And Your Holiness will do 100% absolutely what the United States tell him to do.
You think they're gonna
100%.
China then?
Huh?
You think they're gonna cut all ties with China then?
No,
Okay.
no, because they need China.
But you said he's gonna do everything what them say, and that's what America want them to do.
Well, that he won't do. So maybe 99%.
What about Africa?
No, he won't cut ties with Africa. They will not allow that.
Yeah,
The
so
Jamaican people will never stand for that.
yeah, so yes, him or cut him, I gotta listen to him. He's not. He's not, you know, him I doing one thing. To me, and just
All right, maybe 95%.
okay. How long more before this video end?
Yeah, so what you say with you with what?
No, how long before the video? You wanna finish play the video or you wanna
It's gonna finish just now, and then they are gonna go to questions and stuff.
Okay.
Means is it has to be a mutually beneficial relationship. And we want countries in the world and we want countries in the region to identify being close to the United States as something that is beneficial and helpful to develop, helpful to grow, and frankly, helpful so that one day many countries can serve, and I think in Jamaica is already doing this, as a model of what other countries would seek to emulate, whether it's on security, on trade, on investment, on skills acquisition and improvement. These are the things that we want America's relationship with our partners to look like. And I can think of no better friend in the Caribbean and frankly in the Western Hemisphere than Jamaica and your government, Mr. Prime Minister. And so we thank you for this chance to visit with you so early. And
Free Spirit. Free Spirit.
Yes.
as I joked a couple times.
Well, I'm gonna tell you that we here in Canada, we don't listen to them. And that is why right now we and the United States have issues.
I know.
Okay? So you can use that as the gauge as to how much Prime Minister Andrew Holness is doing exactly what they want him to do. We Canadians, we don't listen to them.
No, I
And
know.
you see the relationship between Canada and them right now. So there you go. So that should tell you a lot.
Yes, I know. I know. I see it. But we don't know what he's listening to him about, though. We really don't know. It's not public.
It's not public, and that is what scares me.
Right. It's not public.
That is what scares me.
Time, so I'll say it again. I think I told it to the cameras already. I wanted to come here early, so when I come for the second and third time, they don't accuse me of only wanting to go to Jamaica. And but it in many ways, it really truly feels like home, and where I am in South Florida,
And this is to my earlier points where I was saying that the citizen of a country should know what the government is doing and what they are up to, because they are so-called elected to serve the people. And this is what I'm talking about. They use the surveillance software to spy and know everything about everyone in the country. But the country who elected them as public servant, they know nothing about them. The public, the population knows nothing about them. And that is the problem. That is the problem.
and I thank you for your hospitality and this opportunity.
So it's finished. It's finished, Free Spirit. They are gonna go to question and answer. So do you wanna do that, or do you wanna stop?
Whatever you want, do you wanna? I mean, right? Whatever you wanna do. But
Oh, I thought you wanted to go, or I don't know if you wanna.
I got to go, but yeah, and then we split the video in two, and do like a part two.
Nah, I don't. Yeah, well, I guess, but
Well, if you wanna finish it, just go ahead then.
okay. So, Guru family, Free Spirit family, thanks for watching. Please share, subscribe, thumbs up, watch other videos. Always want more, and make sure you are worth more. Thanks for watching. Free Spirit, anything to say?
No, I thought you was gonna let them finish with the question.
Okay, so you wanna go, you wanna
Yeah,
continue.
just finish your question. Yeah.
Okay. So, Guru family, Free Spirit family, you're gonna have us a little bit longer.
Good afternoon, Prime Minister Holness and Secretary Rubio. Thank you both for your remarks just now. We have several members of the media from Jamaica and the United States in the room with us this afternoon, but we'll only be taking 4 questions. And I ask that those who have been selected, that you please stand as you ask your question. And our first question is going to be from John Hudson of the Washington Post.
Thank you very much. Mr. Secretary, Republican Congressman Don.
He came with me. Don't say I don't take you to nice places.
And thank you for the hospitality. Beautiful weather, beautiful country. Much appreciated.
I'm sorry. Yeah.
Mr. Secretary, Republican Congressman Don Bacon weighed in on the Signal chat breach, saying the White House is, quote, in denial that this was not classified or sensitive data. They should just own up to it and preserve credibility. Do you think that's true? Also, here in Jamaica, there are U.S.A. employees at our embassy, like so many others around the world, on administrative leave, not carrying out the work of the American people. Do you worry that the DOGE effort won't ultimately end up benefiting U.S. taxpayers? And Prime Minister, violence and instability remains in Haiti. What would you like to see from the United States in terms of being a productive force? And a State Department envoy yesterday called the presence of Cuban doctors in Jamaica and elsewhere human trafficking. Do you agree with that? Thank you.
Let me take the first. I've already addressed the aid one, but let me address it again. This is not about getting rid of aid. This is about restructuring how we're going to do aid. And when you restructure, there's some disruption, but it has to happen. By the way, this is not an idea. This is an idea Condoleezza Rice wanted. This is an idea multiple secretaries of state throughout time have tried to achieve. And we intend to achieve it because we think it makes all the sense in the world. So I recognize that there's disruption involved when you make reform and you make change, but it's necessary because our foreign policy and our foreign aid have to be aligned. Foreign aid is an instrument of foreign policy. Okay, it is not a global charity. Jamaica's not asking for charity. They're asking for development assistance so they can become stronger at their security needs and the other things of this nature. That's what they're asking for. They're not asking for a handout. They're asking for a hand up, help to build their capabilities so that they become a self-reliant partner and frankly could end up and already are helping other countries. Jamaica now is contributing to the effort in Haiti as an example. So these are the kinds of things we want to see in our foreign aid. So look, our goal was not to disrupt anyone's life. Our goal was to restructure the way we deliver foreign aid so that it is aligned with our foreign policy and with what we're trying to carry out at our respective missions around the world. On the first question, let me just say on the signal thing, this thing was set up for purposes of coordinating how everyone was going to call, when these things happen, I need to call foreign ministers, especially of our close allies. We need to notify members of Congress. Other members of the team have different people they need to notify as well. And that was the purpose of why it was set up. Obviously, someone made a mistake. Someone made a big mistake and added a journalist.
I don't know if that was a mistake. I don't know. I do not know.
Against journalists, but you ain't supposed to be on that thing. So they got on there and this happened. I've been, so I can speak to myself or my presence on it. I think my role on it was just speaking for my role. I contributed to it twice. I identified my point of contact, which is my chief of staff. And then later on, I think 3 hours after the White House's official announcements had been made.
For me personally, I just think they just want to show the world that they don't care. They don't care. They are coming to get you, and this is how casually they are going to discuss it. And they're going to come. And they don't. They are talking about this breach and whatever. They are not talking about the civilians that they killed. It was a residential apartment complex that they flattened. They flattened it. The residential apartment complex. Because they are saying that one of these fighter girlfriend lived there and he's in there to go look for her. So these guys, man, I'm telling you, like, it's crazy. It's madness going on right now in the world.
I congratulated the members of the team. I've been assured by the Pentagon and everyone involved that none of the information.
You see, he's saying that he congratulated the member of the team. What, for killing civilians? For killing civilians? You see, these guys are heartless. You know what I mean? This is the guy Andrew Holness just have a meeting with, and people think that, oh, it's so great, and you think they care about Jamaica. These guys are ruthless. They are heartless. These guys.
And that was on there, though not intended to be divulged. Obviously, that was a mistake, and that shouldn't have happened, and the White House is looking at it, but that none of the information on there at any point threaten the operation or the lives of our servicemen. And in fact, it was a very successful operation, and it's an ongoing operation. But that was the intent behind it. And again, I think the Pentagon's made clear that nothing on there would have endangered the lives or the mission. And the mission's been very successful.
Is it classified, the information?
Well, the Pentagon says it was not. And not only did they say it was not, they make very clear that it didn't put in danger anyone's life or the mission. There was no intelligence information. And understand, when this story first broke, they were sort of alluding to whether war maps, whether there was no war plans on there. This was a sort of description of what we could inform our.
No mention of the civilians that they killed. No mention of it. This is what I'm talking about. They are heartless people, these guys.
Our counterparts around the world when the time came to do so. Again, look, I think the White House is looking at this entire thing. How did that journalist get on there? Why was this the appropriate? And I think there'll be reforms and changes made. So this was not going to happen again. It can't. But I wanted everybody to understand why this thing was even set up in the first place, and also understand very clearly the mission was successful and at no point was it endangered. And that's coming from the highest rank.
The mission was successful after downing a residential building. This is the type of people Andrew Holness just had to talk to. So Jamaican people, you be the judge.
ranking officials at the agency that was in charge of the actual operation, which is the Pentagon.
In terms of Haiti, the United States has been an incredible partner, in fact, the lead partner in ensuring that resources and organization is brought to the crisis.
Mr. Holness, they are just using you. If no one else is willing to tell you, Opinion Guru is telling you. They are just using you. Jeez.
In Haiti. In terms of what more could be done, I think we're at a phase in Haiti where there has to be a rapid expansion of the Haitian National Police, the HNP, in terms of the manpower and resources, because ultimately the...
How about the rapid expansion of the Jamaica Constabulary Force? How about doing what Free Spirit said and put police stations in these rural communities? How about fixing up it's not 911, it's 119 service in Jamaica? How about fixing up the emergency service in Jamaica? You're worried about Haiti and using the country's resources to put in Haiti. I have nothing against Haiti. I want the best for Haiti. But what I'm saying is that Jamaica needs help themselves. And this man is sending out our resources. Jamaica needs help. Whenever certain things happen, I don't even want to say it. If it was me alone that was live, I would say it. But when these things happen, it's mass, it's multiple people, right? And this man is talking about expanding policing in Haiti, expand policing in Jamaica, and pay the police also. That's what you should be focused on.
HNP has to take on the gangs. The present holding situation that we have is not necessarily moving the situation forward as we would all like. So there would have to be a significant expansion in resources in support of the HNP to enable them to take on the gangs. In terms of Cuban doctors in Jamaica, let us be clear. The Cuban doctors in Jamaica have been incredibly helpful to us. Jamaica has a deficit in health personnel, primarily because many of our health personnel have migrated to other countries. We are, however, very careful not to exploit the Cuban doctors who are here. We ensure that they are treated within our labor laws and benefit like any other worker. So any characterization of the program by others certainly would not be applicable to Jamaica. We are ensuring that our program complies with all the international laws and standards to which we are a party to.
Right, our next question will come from Tana Thomas from Nationwide News Network. Please stand.
Secretary Rubio, my question is for questions in relation to the matter of the Cuban Medical Corporation program as well. So the medical mission has been a cornerstone of healthcare in Jamaica and the Caribbean for over 50 years, according to our foreign minister. How does the U.S. reconcile its stance on this program with the region's reliance on Cuban medical professionals, and what alternatives does it propose to ensure healthcare?
Well, yeah, I think the first thing is to separate medical from the labor issues that we are pointing to. Okay, this is not about doctors. Okay, this is not about the provision of medical assistance. We have no problem with medical assistance. We have no problem with doctors. We have a problem, and I'm not speaking about Jamaica. We've discussed this today about, following international labor standards and the like, but I'm just talking about this program in general, how it's operated around the world. And how it's operated around the world is that basically the doctors are not paid. In many other parts of the world, the doctors are not paid. You pay the Cuban government. The Cuban government decides how much of anything to give them. They take away their passports. They basically operate as forced labor in many places. Now, there are
That is not true, and I don't believe you, because I spoke to my Cuban friends and he said the doctors may not get all the money but they at least get some of the money and they are happy to leave Cuba and to go to elsewhere to help out, especially countries like Jamaica. Look at what Barbados said, or the Prime Minister, Mia Mottley, said the other day. She said that they pay them equal what the Bayesians are getting, the Bayesian doctors, right? If the Cuban government takes a percentage of it, I don't know. But these doctors are usually happy to get out of Cuba and happy to help. The United States needs some Cuban doctors. How about that? You guys don't even have free health care. Some people get sick and they go into bankruptcy. Everyone over there have to have health insurance. In Canada, we don't have to stay with a job because we need health insurance. That is covered by our taxes, right? These are the things that you should look about, right? Maybe America should try and get some Cuban doctors to help out instead of this fight about doctors. Leave Jamaica alone. Let the Cuban doctors remain and help the population. America is not sending doctors there. Is America sending doctors to Jamaica? They are not sending doctors there. Leave the doctors alone. Go and focus on the United States. People are going into debt. People are going into bankruptcy because they cannot afford the privatized health care in the United States. That is what this guy should be worried about. Leave Jamaica alone and leave the Cuban doctors alone. By the way, he's a son of Cuban immigrants, so I'm not sure if it's because of the stories he heard as a child. Why he's like this?
Places that have better labor standards, perhaps Jamaica is one of those, and that's fine. But I'm describing generally what the program has been. It has operated in that way in many parts of the world and placed these people in tremendous danger. And so I think we can all agree that the trafficking in labor, be they doctors or farm workers, is not something that we would want to be supportive of. And we find that to be an egregious practice on the part of the Cuban regime. Now, every country operates the program differently. And obviously, because of our relationship with Jamaica, we're going to engage with them on that and talk about it further and have a better understanding. Perhaps none of this applies in the way it's handled here. But generally, that's the problem with the program. It's not that they're Cuban doctors. It's that the regime does not pay these doctors, takes away their passports, and basically it is, in many ways, forced labor. And that we cannot be in support of. Again, not speaking about here in particular, but in general about the program.
Okay, our next question is going to come from Will Lowry from the National News.
Thank you so much for taking my question, Mr. Secretary. I just want to.
Anyway, it seems like free spirit is gone. So
No, here.
maybe I'm just gonna end the free spirit.
Yes, hi, I'm here.
Okay. I thought you were gone. Okay. I'll just continue then.
Okay.
Let's circle back to John's question, the signal chat.
The signal chat, yes.
But of course, are you planning on making the Europeans pay for U.S. operations against the Houthis, given that their businesses seem to benefit more from opening up these shipping lanes, as discussed in that chat? And then moving to Russia and Ukraine, I was wondering if you could elaborate on the Black Sea ceasefire deal and how it's progressing. President Zelensky has already questioned Russia's seriousness, saying, quote, they are trying to distort agreements and in fact to see both our intermediaries. Yeah.
So on the first question about, look, here's the problem, okay? These guys, these Houthis, these are pirates, okay? This is a band of, it's a gang, in essence.
They're fighting for the Palestinians. Remember, when the ceasefire and the hostage exchange were going on, there were no attacks on any ships. This started again because Israel broke the ceasefire. They broke the ceasefire. Right now, it seems like the Houthis are the only one that is doing anything substantial to stop the genocide in Gaza. Right? These guys are taking all kind of money from APAC and all kind of things. That is why they are talking like this. They are not worried about the children that is being killed on a daily basis in Gaza. You know what I mean? Look what's happening to the poor Palestinian people. You hear this guy. Oh, man.
Since that's gotten control of a certain part, but these are a religious fanatic gang. And these guys have missiles, and they've launched 174 attacks against the U.S. Navy ships, 150-something attacks on commercial vessels. They are literally saying they've set up a toll system at the Red Sea. These ships can go, these ships cannot. They don't blow up the Chinese ships. They don't blow up somebody, but they blow up all the other ships.
No, stop lying. They are going after the ships that are Israeli related. Tell Israel to stop the attack on the Palestinian people, resume the ceasefire deal, and all this attack would be over. All this would stop. But he refused to tell Israel to go back to the deal, go back to the deal, right? And all this attack would stop. Whatever the United States is doing right now, they are doing it at the behest of Israel. That's why they are doing it. So right now, he's just talking some weird. So
This is not sustainable. And so I think the point that I've made publicly is we are doing a great favor to the world. The United States is doing a great favor.
No. You're doing a favor to Israel. That's what you are doing. You are doing a favor to Israel.
Favor to the world, going after these guys' capability of doing this. How can we live in a world where a group like this has advanced weapons, okay, and can shut down a shipping lane and increase the cost of shipping that we're all paying for? Everything we buy, all the stuff is embedded in the cost and in the price of these things is how much it costs to ship it. And so that's just not a sustainable thing. We can't allow it. So I think the point I would make is not, we're going to make everybody pay. It's everybody should recognize we are doing the world a great favor going after these guys because this can't continue. This is unsustainable.
No, you are doing Israel a great favor. That's who you are doing a favor. You are doing Israel a favor.
What's next? Some gang's going to show up somewhere else and shut off another shipping lane. That's not practical. It cannot happen. So what was your first question? I was so fired up about that one that I forgot the other one. Oh, yes, that one. Easy ones. Well, look,
people, you heard what he said? You heard what he said? I thought they were America first, but no, they are Israel first. This is just nuts.
I think yesterday our negotiators are en route, or perhaps they've already arrived. After spending, I think they met with the Ukrainians twice, the Russians once. What we have here is an agreement in principle on a Black Sea ceasefire. We got two things from that. The first is we have more detailed definition of what the energy ceasefire entails. And the second is the principle concept of a Black Sea ceasefire. Obviously, after our meeting, as part of their release, the Russians detailed a number of conditions that they want to see met in order to do that. So we're going to evaluate that. Some of those conditions include sanctions that are not ours. They belong to the European Union. So we're going to be gathering and sort of when our folks get back, sitting down, going through the proposals, getting their impressions of the conversations so we can more fully understand what the Russian position is or what their ask is in exchange. And then we'll present that to the president who will ultimately make a decision about what the next step is. I think it's a good thing that we have both the Ukrainians and the Russians talking about ceasefires, be they energy or be they potentially in the Black Sea. But obviously, this is hard and difficult work. This is a protracted almost 3.5-year war now, or 3-year war. It has a lot of framework of sanctions that have been built globally now that have to be looked at as part of an ultimate end to a conflict. There's a lot of things that have to be worked through. And I certainly think the only way you're going to make progress on these things is by engaging with both sides, understanding their asks, their demands, and seeing what's possible. So we're going to have a chance now to sort of sit down as a team and evaluate when they arrive in detail how the meetings went with the Ukrainians, how the meetings went with Russia, what are the Russians asking for, what are the Ukrainians asked for, compare all that, and then make a decision on that basis about what comes next in this process. In the end, the goal here is peace. The goal is to end a war where people are dying. And I think everyone should be happy that the United States is engaged in a process of ending a war and bringing about peace. It's not going to be easy. It won't be simple. It'll take some time, but at least we're on that road and we're talking about these things and we're going to test it and see what's possible. We think we owe that to the world. And the president, I continue to say, is the only leader in the world right now, President Trump, who's in a position to even get these two nations to a city to talk about these things, albeit in rooms far apart from one another when these talks are going on. But nonetheless, they're talking. It's the first time in a while that we've seen any conversation about this, but we have a lot of work yet to be done, and we'll know more after we get the readout from our teams.
Okay, our last question will come from Andrea Chisholm from Television Jamaica.
Thank you. Secretary Rubio, given changes to U.S. immigration policies, there are some Jamaicans who are afraid to travel back to Jamaica, even though they are legitimate green card holders. What assurances can you give to those individuals that they will have no difficulty returning to the United States?
Well, yeah, right. Green
very
card,
quickly,
green card
sir.
or residency? I mean, permanent residence you're asking me about? Yes,
Permanent,
okay,
yes.
okay.
And secondly, what problems, if any?
Free spirit is what does he mean? I thought green card and permanent residency, I thought it was the same thing.
It is the same thing, but he was supposed to say citizenship. If them
Oh,
and they are them green card.
okay, okay.
But him
As
not
I'm,
him cut her off. Mm. Right.
okay. So it's so he's making a mistake.
I
He
think
made a mistake.
yeah, make you finish say a question.
Does America have with China's investment in Jamaica?
Well, look, I mean, China's a rich and powerful country. Our problem with is not investment. Okay, our problem is predatory practices. That's what we're concerned about. What we have seen all over the world is that China comes in and says, here's a bunch of money for a project they never build. They bring their own workers to do the work. They don't hire the locals. They bring their own workers. And oftentimes it comes attached with a huge loan that can never be repaid. And now they hold it over your head.
Okay, China gave Jamaica roads. What did the United States give Jamaica? I am waiting. What? What? I'm listening. What did the United States give to Jamaica? China gave us ports so we can have tourist ships coming to Jamaica. What did the United States give to Jamaica? I am listening.
Them never give to Jamaica because all them road and so them dig out. All them mall, you think them carry back at China, they take out the mineral outside. Who know if there's not gold and all of that stuff? They know what they're doing.
So why now in Jamaica we have highways? Why?
But
Isn't
them,
it because of the Chinese?
they get a lot of benefit. You think them just do it just
Yeah.
like that?
But what did America give to Jamaica? Yes, the Chinese got stuff. America got stuff from Jamaica too. But what did they give to Jamaica? I am still waiting. I'm waiting. TikTok. This guy is talking about China. What did the United States give to Jamaica? I am still waiting. You have the Jose Marti High School that Cuba gave to Jamaica. What did the United States give to Jamaica? I am still waiting. Free spirit?
But you talking about America, right?
Yeah.
All China do is road. You see them ever build a hospital? This them ever do a school?
Free Spirit, I understand. Did the United States build a hospital?
Yes, yeah.
Which hospital? Which one?
All of them build a hospital, no, but me know schools.
Which
I
school?
back.
Which school they build?
Which school America build a Jamaica again? Well, Radigan that talk about the other day. We're not live here. Ratigan was talking about the school in Tivoli, or somebody they donate the money.
They donate the money to build the school. They build for the girls' school and actually $30 million. Nobody know where it turn.
Oh, okay. Well, then give them $30 million and they don't know where money go. And
Where is the proof?
Camela give a lot of money to, but they don't know what happened to the money.
Where is the proof? You see, me, I don't go off words, because all these guys are liars.
Camela did give the money, but there's no proof. They don't know. Jamaica they don't know what happened to the money once
Did she give the money to?
The Jamaica government.
Yeah, for the girls' school.
For the girls' school, and then just take the money. Just like in COVID time, right? All the money where they collect. And I watch that marathon and they get all that money to buy the machine in Jamaica. And them not buy it. Where's Tufton? Are you here? What happened to all that money? Over 500,000. So they do get the money there, but you have to ask the Jamaican government what happened to the money. How was it spent?
Who spend it on? How it spent?
And that is the same thing I was talking about earlier in the video. No accountability, no oversight. You see? But at least, so you are saying, Free Spirit, America gave money, but there is nothing. And I am saying that China gave Jamaica roads, Cuba gave Jamaica Ozimate High School. So we still cannot see anything that America give to Jamaica.
You have to ask them because there's proof. Them give them money and Jamaica don't know what. I'm telling you, I was here. I saw it with my own two eyes.
Yeah, but what is I want to see something physical that I can say, okay, yeah, America gave that to Jamaica.
Them never physically go down there and go build them, give them the money.
Okay.
All right. Just on the other topic. Remember I was talking about where American do for the that community and how much money them give or whatever.
Yes. U.S.A. yeah.
Yeah, so how you gonna say they not give? They give a lot of stuff.
Because I see the parties. The LGBT, I see the parties, I see the marches, I see it.
So how you gonna say America not give? They give. You could look it up. They give them a lot of stuff, but Jamaica has a lot of financial aid from here, a lot. But you have to go and ask the Jamaica government where is the money.
And your Holness, where is the money?
Maybe
and it goes.
I don't know. It's just.
Free Spirit, I know you don't like the politics and the but this is why I'm raising my pressure. These type of things.
We and here now almost 2 hours, and we did not resolve not one thing, because this is bigger than me and you. We're just here basically for entertainment purpose. Because you think this gonna go to Ed Bartley or Mr. Oldness or Mr. Tufton or what the man from Montego Bay name again, the Chinese man? You think it all go to none of them? I mean, it's
Boy,
it all go to.
I hope it goes to one of them.
My God.
Or I hope it goes to a few people and they can realize what's going on in their country.
It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot that's going on. I would love to move back home and open some businesses and pump back in my community where I'm from. But everybody is just so scared. It's always something going on.
And that is why I'm saying that instead of sending the security resources to Haiti, how about spreading it out in Jamaica? How about securing the island? How about that, Mr. Anjoulness? This is what I'm talking about.
A security for Jamaica. What? Nothing. The one of them is the same thing. Yeah. It's bigger than me, yeah, Guru.
They're so corrupt that it's
Pure corruption,
Yeah,
absolute corruption.
Guru opinion is not my opinion. We share different opinion, guys. So no, I'm a
Guru was a laborite. Because people probably hear all me talk and say, oh, it's a PMP that. Nah. Guru was a laborite.
oh, God.
So you see, people, you see me, I am just critical of things that I think that is wrong. You know what I mean? I try not to be biased. I don't say I don't have a little bit of bias, but I try not to be biased. Because people will hear me on Anjo and say, oh, a PMP boy that. Nah. That's not how it is, people. Oh, man. Unbelievable.
Yeah. So thank you.
That's our concern. Our concern is unfair practices too, where they come in, they're government subsidized.
Free spirit, what you say? You don't want to hear anymore.
Yeah, just finish it up.
All right. So you're going to thank your people.
No, finish it. Finish. Let him finish.
Oh, the video. Okay.
Companies underbid everybody because they're subsidized, but then they come back and charge you whatever they want because now they've got the contract. So these are the things that we remain very concerned about. Again, not specifically about Jamaica, but in general. And so that's what we'll continue to highlight. On the first point, I would say, let me talk about that. If you're a green card holder, you're not illegally in the United States. If you're a green card holder, you are legally in the United States. What the president has said, and I don't know how anybody can disagree with this, every country in the world has immigration laws. And immigration laws, if you don't enforce them, you don't have immigration laws. Over the last few years, we've had, 13, 14, 15 million people enter the United States unlawfully and irregularly. No country in the world can assume that. By the way, that's not unique to us, right? Even here in Jamaica, you've faced challenges of migration. And it's not that we don't sympathize with people that are leaving difficult circumstances, is that no society can absorb mass migration from anywhere in the world. You just can't do it. And we're facing that challenge. That's not specific to Jamaica. I'm just speaking in general. And so the president is doing something that frankly hasn't been done in a long time. He's enforcing our immigration laws. And that's what we're doing. So if you're a green card holder, you're not illegally in the United States. I think the challenge is for those who are illegally in the United States, we have to have immigration laws. They have to be followed. I mean, I don't know why that's an unreasonable demand. And frankly, I mean, Jamaica is not a major source of illegal migration, to be frank. It's not even in the top 10 or top 20 for that matter, I don't think. But that said, we are enforcing our immigration laws because here's what happens if you don't. You'll get another 12 million people. And if tomorrow Jamaica announces anybody who wants to come can come in, you're going to get a lot of people too, and you know it's going to be very disruptive. So we need to have immigration laws, and we need to enforce them, and that's what we are. That's what the president is doing. That's what he promised voters he would do, and that's what we're going to continue to do. But if you're a green card holder, you're legally in the United States, unless, and I say this because a lot of these people come, unless you're some student visa holder who's a sympathizer of some terrorist organization.
Oh my gosh. Here we go again. How much Israel is paying this guy? Here we go again. Oh my goodness.
And is running around in our streets like a lunatic, burning down buildings and attacking students at universities. If you're one of these.
Marco Rubio, how about freedom of speech? How about your right to peacefully protest? How about that? Oh, because you don't agree with the protest, now he's a terrorist. The United States has a constitution. freedom of speech is in the Constitution. And this guy is running around crucifying people for protesting. These guys, they are the devil.
Lunatics that's going to put on a mask over your face and break into a student union center.
Yeah, but a couple years ago, you guys were forcing people to wear masks and forcing people to stay home. So people, you can see the hypocrisy with these guys. Do what we say, and that's it. So a few years ago, if you didn't wear a mask, they want to put you in prison or wherever they want to put you. Now, if you wear a mask, we are gonna put you in prison to wear a mask. This is the stupidity. This is the insanity of this world that we are living. These guys are look at his face. Look at it. He is insane. He's nuts. Look at him. Free spirit.
My blood pressure.
And harass students, and we wouldn't have let you in the first place. If you had told us that, if you told us, I'm going to America, not just to study at your university, but to tear up your campus, we would have never let you in. And if you do that, once you come into the United States, we're going to kick you out. We're going to do that. And I don't care what terrorist organization.
For peacefully protesting, you're going to kick out students for peacefully protesting. This guy is a lunatic. Him, Marco Rubio, you're a lunatic.
Organization is supporting, we're going to kick you out. If you're a gang member, we're going to kick you out. Okay? If you're one of these violent gang members that's coming to the United States, then we're going to kick you out. That we're going to do. There's no doubt about it. But the president's very committed to that. And but if you're a green card holder and you're not any of these things, you're going to be fine.
Prime Minister Holness and Secretary Rubio, as we close today's.
So free spirit, do you think green card holders are fine?
Yes, I think so. So long as they're not a problem. I think if that them will child support or then they have any kind of issue in the past, maybe they have a problem coming back. But a lot of people is scared here to travel if them not have their citizenship, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know Canadians are not coming to the United States.
Wow, it's crazy.
The other day, a Canadian woman was coming and they put her in some place for like 2 weeks.
Wow.
But you know what? A lot of these private detention centers are also for profit.
Right.
So they just put you there for a few weeks and make some money and let you back out and say, okay, on your way.
That's sad though. That's really sad, man.
Very sad.
That's sad.
Very sad.
Yeah, Guru. So good chatting. And
It's almost done, free spirit. It's almost done.
Press conference. We want to thank you for your engagement here today. We thank all of the members of the media and all of the other guests who are here, and we wish you safe travels and a happy rest of the day. Thank you.
Okay, there you have it. Free Spirit, you want to tell your viewers and your subscribers anything?
yes, thanks for watching, and always remember the fire inside of you burn brighter than the one that's around you, and just enjoy life. Take care.
And Guru family, remember, my opinion is my opinion. Free Spirit is not into the politics thing, so don't feel like she is saying what I am saying. I am saying it, and I'm saying it, and that is my saying. So thanks for watching. Please thumbs up, share, subscribe, watch another video, and I will catch you in the next one. We are out.
Bye. Later, Guru.
All right, free spirit. Bye.